and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing an ice cream themed soap with this really cool little mold that I got from Joann's Fabrics. You can find ice cream molds just about anywhere, but I really love this one because of this little guy right here. It reminds me of the orange creamsicle, and that is my absolute favorite ice cream of all times. So I picked us out a very nice orange scent, and we're going to make a beautiful soap bar with this. But before we get into this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing down below. This is the mold that we'll be using for the day. It's pretty small, so we're only going to end up making about 3 or 4 bars of soap. That means that we only need to make about 3 or 4 of these embeds, and today we're going to be using this Racing Stripe Orange Mica from Brambleberry. I have a little bit of white melt and pour. Now I'm just going to pop this melt and pour in the microwave in 30-second bursts until it's completely melted. In a separate cup, I've mixed some of our mica powder with some alcohol, and now I'm just going to drop that into our melt and pour and give it a good stir. That looks like a really nice and creamy orange. And then to get rid of any extra bubbles, just give it a spritz with alcohol. I've selected our best 3 embeds for our project. Now we're going to be painting on a little bit of this copper sparkle mica from Brambleberry just so that our sticks look nice and brown. To do this, I put a little bit of that copper mica on a lid and I'm going to spritz it with alcohol. That makes it into a nice paintable solution. Our sticks look nice and sparkled. Now we can let these dry. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of this Racing Stripe Orange Mica. Next, I'm going to pour in a little bit of our oils and give it a good stir. And begin to mix our lye water with our oils. Now I'm just going to stick blend this until everything is nice and mixed together to a light trace. Next, I'm going to be adding in this orange fragrance oil from Nurture Soaps. This I'll be blending in with a little whisk. This smells so beautiful, just like orange creamsicle. Next, I'm going to be pouring about 1/3 of my batter into that orange cup. And now I'm going to give this a very good stir. Next, I'm going to be adding some of this super pearly white mica to my oil. I don't have a crazy amount left, so I think I'm just going to use what's left. I really love this color. Okay, and then just mixing it in with my little blender. Normally the best way to mix this in is the same way I did the orange, but I forgot about it, so we're playing catch up right now. Once you feel like both of your batters are really well mixed together and a nice consistency, we're ready to break out our mold. So here I have our orange bowl, and now I want to pour about 1/2 of what we have left of our white into this bowl, and I'm just going to pour it down the side so that the colors don't mix together too badly. So now I'm looking at our mold and our pot of color, and I want these to kind of swirl but not too badly, so I think I'm just going to kind of dump them in using a spoon to kind of break the fall. Our design turned out really cool looking, but it's not quite as tall as I was expecting, so I think I'm going to pour a little bit more of our base into that orange bowl and go for another layer on the top. Our swirl looks incredible. I'm really excited for this. I can't wait to see how this loaf cuts. I think we got a good shade variation too. I think the bottom of this is a lot creamier than the top, which will look really cool because we're going to be putting that white icing on top. So now I'm just going to let this sit a little bit until it gets a little harder. It'll probably take 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and ice the top of our loaf. Now that our leftover batter is at a pretty thick trace, I'm going to scrape all that out and I'm just going to fill a piping bag with it. Now that I have all of our leftover soap batter into my piping bag, I'm just going to cut the tip off the end here and we'll be able to begin piping. I'm going to begin in the middle and just pipe a bunch of dots across the line. I'm going to do another layer on top of all those. And now that it's built, I'm just going to make a creamy topping on top. I'm feeling pretty confident with the texture that we got on the top of this. I know it's looking a little odd now that it's all together, but once we cut it, those are going to look like really cool creamy waves. Next, we need to add our beautiful embeds. And I'm going to press it down into the soap, that way they stay. Take a spoon and try and get a little bit of a different texture. Our bar has hardened really nicely. We did get a little bit of glycerin dew on this, so in the future I will be using cold process soap for my embeds instead of melt and pour. Melt and pour does that sometimes. I should be able to wipe it off with a little towelette before I get these wrapped. But, you know, it's nice not to have any glycerin dew at all, so in the future, definitely no melt and pour on my cold process. All right, and we are ready for our slice. Here is our finished project. It looks so good. I cannot tell you guys how happy I am with our end results. This is everything I dreamed and more. It has beautiful swirls on it, and of course on the top we have our teeny little ice cream. And it just looks so good. It smells so good. I could seriously eat this bar, but I won't because I know it's soap and that is disgusting. If you find yourself interested in purchasing any of my soaping products, you can always find them on my website, usually about 45 days after we make a video because of cure times, but I will make sure to leave a link to my website in the description down below. Feel free to peruse, you know, even if you're not planning to buy anything. I always appreciate seeing views on there because it means people are looking at my finished artwork pieces. Let me know down in the comment section what your favorite ice cream is, and maybe it will be the next ice cream themed soap that we do. Because we have a lot more to do in this mold. We have the regular ice cream, we have the regular ice cream but square. I think we could go far with this. Alright, well thank you guys so much for joining me. Please consider hitting that subscribe button so I see you again. Bye!